Baste Duterte. Mayor, magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi.
Hannah, good to see you again. No, and Mayor, we had a very interesting week last week. Maraming nangyari, Mayor. The SONA, the opening of the 20th Congress, and then my updates sa impeachment. All of this we will try to discuss in today's episode, Mayor. Let's proceed to some of the points dito nga sa nangyaring fourth SONA ng Presidente last week, Mayor, and meron siyang mga nasabing mga points, no, na pinag-usapan, dinebatihan, and we would like to discuss some of these, Mayor, in today's episode. Hannah, would you like to share this? Exactly.
So, yes, Mayor, so the fourth State of the Nation address of Marcos Jr. and with this, Mayor, may mga key statements siya, and he opened his speech with he highlighted the recent election. And to quote, he said, "Malinaw sa akin ang naging resulta ng halalan, bigo at dismayado ang mga tao sa pamahalaan, lalo na sa mga pangunahing serbisyo. Ang leksyon ay simple, kailangan natin mas lalong galingan, kailangan pa natin mas bilisan." Anong masasabi mo dito, Mayor?
Alam niya talaga na dismayado ang mga tao kasi sinasabi niya maka 12-0 daw siya. During the campaign. Yun naman yung statement niya. 12-0 daw yung lahat daw ng bagong Pilipinas na mga senators makakapasok sa Senate. Nasaan na yung 12-0 mo? So, yun naman talaga yung clear indicator ng ano eh. Tama naman yung sinabi ni Marcos na pumalpak talaga siya.
No, marami lang nag-comment, Mayor, na medyo nag-align to sa statement mo in our last episode na this is the most inefficient government. So somehow, parang nag-agree din si Bongbong with that statement na he acknowledged it na the people were not happy and they need to improve. That's what he said.
Tagal ko na sinasabi yan. Simula pa lang ng itong nagpa-podcast tayo na masyadong focused sila on the 2028 elections. Tapos lahat ng movements ng administration are, inaano nila pinopoliticize nila lahat ng ginagawa nila to solidify their bid for the 2028 elections. Kaya yung functions ng government compromised. 'Di ba? Supposedly, tulad yan, ayuda. May DSWD naman na para mag-distribute. Nilagay mo sa mga congressman, which are political individuals. Diba? So, kaya hindi nagagamit sa tamang paraan or nadi-deliver ng maayos, fairly, yung mga resources ng gobyerno dahil nga to advance their political ambitions. So, ito kasi rin, it's one way, yung pera ng bayan, it's their way of buying allies. Like Martin Romualdez, di ba? So, Martin Romualdez, pagka sumunod ka sa amin and this administration, then you are given allocation ng ayuda, which is which used to be the pork barrel. So yun naman yun eh. Kaya yung DSWD, which has the data, sila naman yung nakakaalam and paano nila gawin yung trabaho nila, kung saan dapat mapupunta yung mga resources na yan, hindi na nagagawa nila yung trabaho nila. So how can that be efficient? Tama naman, Congressman. Your only job is to, cooperate with this, itong mga agencies na to, na ito yung kailangan namin. Then you propose the budget. Pag daw, sige, magbigay tayo ng allocation dyan, DSWD for this region, for this district, kasi may kailangan na ganun. Pero anong nangyayari? Diretso sa Congressman. O bahala na siya kung paano niya gagamitin.
And in fact, Mayor, we've seen and we've heard reports of that during the last campaign na sa distribution ng DSWD, dumarating bigla yung mga politiko at sila na ang nagbibigay no, sa ayuda instead of the DSWD, as you've said, which has the mandate to do this function.
Ano yan eh, traditional politics. Kahit hindi mo naman pera yan, gagamitin mo na para sabihin na, you know, na sa akin galing to. So magkakaroon ng utang ng loob, so the next time around, next elections, dapat ako yung piliin nyo kasi binigyan ko kayo ng ayuda. Kasi dito naman, kunwari sa Davao, may sunog, may baha. Ang CSWDO, lahat ng mga departments, i-deploy yan. Kung meron man politiko diyan, they're there just to, you know, like to do an ocular visit, everything is going well, 'di ba? Yung ganon. Kung okay pa ba yung mga nangyayari, tama ba, may kulang ba? Yun lang naman yun. Pero yung pera na yan, nandyan na yan. It's supposed to be allocated already kasi hindi mo naman maiiwasan talaga na may mangyari. Diba? So ngayon, kung ginamit mo sa politika, binigay mo sa mga congressman, inubos mo doon so that you can acquire allies, katulad nung midterm elections, pag may nangyari talagang totoo, like yung recent baha doon sa Manila, saan mo kukunin? Pinamigay mo na lahat eh. So, the next thing that you do is maybe you would realign pera ng mga ibang department doon na naman sa ayuda. So, mawawalan ng pera yung ibang mga institutions like DepEd, yung PhilHealth, isa yan, di ba? Bakit nila kinuha yung pera sa PhilHealth at hindi natin alam talaga kung saan napunta and they're not telling the courts because they keep on moving the oral arguments kung saan nila ginamit yung pera sa PhilHealth. Which, I would speculate talaga na napunta talaga yan sa ayuda. So kaya nga, pumapalakpak talaga yung mga congressman because it serves them really well for their political preservation.
That's why satisfactory and happy sila sa report at sa performance ng kanilang leader.
Hindi naman nakinig yung mga yun. Basta every time pumalakpak yung mga congressman, pasalamat sila, si BBM talaga yung presidente ngayon. Kasi wala eh, busog kami eh.
Hindi talaga
Madali lahat eh. Basta luhod lang kami dyan. Meron na kaming budget.
Tama ka, Mayor. Hindi talaga nakinig. May nakita nga, nanonood pa ng sabong during the SONA. Pero di daw siya nagsasabong, ha? Okay, judgmental.
Hayaan na natin yan. Ano naman yan eh. Hayaan na natin yan. Yan yung Congress. Ito nga yung klaseng gobyerno na meron tayo ngayon. Yung trabaho ng DSWD or DPWH, sila naman yung may technical capacity para talaga mag-identify kung saan dapat ilalagay yung mga projects or whatever. But now, since yung congressman naman yung mga lobbyists na nakakakuha ng budget, so I think, and I would speculate again, that they would suggest to the departments kung paano gagamitin yun. Diba? Yun yung mangyayari. Yun yung mahirap doon. Instead of na si DPWH, kailangan natin ng tulay dito. Sabihin ng congressman, hindi, nakakuha na akong pera. Kailangan natin concreting. Dito na area, tapos sisirain natin yan. Tapos isesemento agad natin yan. I-repair natin. Tapos sisirain natin ulit. Tapos i-repair natin ulit. So that, like we can utilize the budget, maximize it for profit. Yung kasi, tulay, pag ginawa mo, hindi mo naman pwede sirain yun. Diba? Yung building, pag tinayo mo yan, hindi mo naman pwede sirain yun, tapos tatayo ka ulit ng building kasi it wouldn't make sense. Pero ito kasi, makakapal talaga sa yung mukha talaga ng yung gumagawa nito, I do not, ito si DPWH kasi, wala yan. Tao yan, mga tao lang yan ng presidente. Kasi under the president yung DPWH eh. So, pag yun na pag ginayaan ng presidente yung Congress on how they implement the budget, wala talaga. It will not be properly spent. Diba? Kung paano mo ginamit yung pera. Tapos ngayon, siya pa yung magagalit. Hindi ko maintindihan. Ba't siya yung galit? Dapat supposedly, na tinignan niya na maayos. Okay, may pera na tayo, pinirmahan ko na yan. Sasabihin ko ngayon sa DPWH, gamitin nyo ng maayos yung pera na yan. Ayoko na may mga concreting projects dyan, nasisirain nyo kahit nadadaanan pa naman ng mga tao, okay pa naman, para gagawin nyo ulit, para magastos nyo lang yung pera. And like, some other political parties are very vocal about this. Sina Magalong, especially that guy, di ba? Sinasabi niya naman yon, yung kickback, 30 to 45%. Ayan eh. Pinakamadali dyan, yung concreting talaga. Walang kwenta talaga na yung sinasayang yung pera.
Mayor, related to this discussion, Mayor, na ito nga sabi niyang mahiya naman kayo. Actually, Mayor, nag-ugat din yan dun sa sinabi niya sa mga infrastructure projects, particularly itong flood control projects, na sabi niya, yung iba daw talaga inefficient, palpak, or guni-guni nga lang daw yung iba. Dahil nga may mga nakinabang na mga politiko.
Kaya nga, di ba si Bonoan yung
DPWH Secretary.
DPWH Secretary, parang tao mo man yan. Dapat may clear directive ka kung paano mo i-implement yung pera ng gobyerno. Sabi mo, walang corruption dyan, walang kickback. Gusto ko makakita ng maayos na implementation na talaga. Walang sobra, not overpriced, di ba? Actually, kinalaban lang ni Marcos yung sarili niya sa sinabi niya. Pero, kaya nga, nakakalito talaga. Nakakalito talaga. And, it's almost surreal. Di ba na nangyayari ba talaga ito? Na sa ginagawa ba talaga ito ng gobyerno na ito? Mahirap isipin ba? Mahirap isipin. It's in front of the nation. They're doing this in front of every Filipino.
On broad daylight, Mayor.
Yeah, yung mga congressman naman, palakpak kami because who's going to take the blame? The president. Diba? And the president is so shameless, so wala rin.
They were very proud. All very proud.
So confusing nga, diba?
O, diba?
Sila naman nag-allocate ng budget.
You would expect na he's talking to the congressman first. But then the congressman, standing ovation sila, masaya sila. So, sino ba dapat talaga yung receiver ng message ni President?
Kayo.
Was he talking to himself? Or was he talking to the congressman? Was he talking to the two men in his back? Sino ba talaga yung tinutukoy ni Mr. President?
Yeah, kaya ayoko lang magsabi na directly, but Magalong is talking about this. I think you should look into that guy. It's not ours. Hindi ko nang kaibigan niya mga yan. Pero you should listen to him.
He's been making this expose.
Vocal siya about dyan. Alam niya yan. Alam ng mga mayor yan at governor. Kasi yung legislatura, doon talaga galing yung pera ng yung national budget para sa mga highways, mga tulay na hindi kaya, the local government cannot spend on. Diba? So kaya, palag talaga yan si Mayor Magalong.
Pero balik muna tayo dito, Mayor. Just a little follow-up question regarding the opening statement of Marcos Jr. because that's how he started his speech. He started with the people are dismayed, and an efficient government, hindi maganda ang gobyerno. That's how he started his speech. And then he went on to talk about promises for the next 3 years. So it seems to me that it feels like I was listening to a first SONA actually. Kasi yung mga plano niya, sinasabi niya yung plano niya, and more on the plans and promises, less on the accomplishments.
Sasabihin niya, okay, nagawa natin yung 20 pesos na bigas. Sige, tanungin mo na lang yung mga bumibili ng bigas dyan, yung pumupunta ng palengke everyday to purchase rice. May tag 20 pesos ba talaga na bigas?
Last time I checked, wala.
Selected na.
Sila, meron, nag-roll out sila, Mayor, and select locations nationwide. Co-ops, I think dinaan nila sa
Yeah,
isang
but
cooperative, Mayor.
it's a subsidy of the
Exactly,
government.
subsidized. Yes,
It's not the actual price. It's not
Correct.
an actual market price
Correct.
ng bigas. So, ang ginawa doon, kumuha na naman sila ng pera, bumili sila ng bigas at a lower cost or at the cost, di ba, at the market price, tapos binenta ng gobyerno
20.
ng tag 20. But it doesn't mean na yung actual market price talaga ng bigas na may 20 pesos na bigas. Tinitwist kasi nila yung
Ginagawa tayong tanga. Exactly.
In other words, ginagawa tayong tanga.
Diba? Tapos yung mga tao, araw-araw nasa palengke yan. It's a subsidized program of the government. It's not the actual market price of rice. Pwede sige, sabihin natin, nakuha mo yung 20 bigas para lang doon sa i-confine natin sa 20 bigas na sinabi niya. Well, nagawa mo rin naman talaga. But, does it really reflect kung ano yung economy natin in terms of the price of rice? Yung actual na mga tao na bumibili talaga ng mahirap talaga, sumasakit ulo ko pagka iniisip ko.
Sakto talaga, Mayor, because I think what the public want is to see this price, the 20 pesos, dyan sa tindahan. No, not through Kadiwa stores or through specific locations.
Hindi kasi if you really want to subsidize yung bigas, just give it to them for free. Kasi may pera naman talaga. Pero dapat selected na doon kailangan kung sino yung nangangailangan talaga. Ilibre mo na lang yan. But the actual market price, di mo talaga ma-change yan unless you improve the economy. Diba? So how do you improve the economy? Infrastructure. Magsisimula ka talaga dyan so that people can move around, comfortably and freely. So magkakaroon ng economic stimulation. Diba? So businesses will put up, magkakaroon ng employment, then
People will earn.
diba? Magkakaroon ng pera yung tao. So pag may pera yung tao, makakabili sila ng bigas, then so ngayon pag may demand, ang tanong dyan, may supply ba? Ang trabaho ng, for example, DA, sabihin mo, how can we, kung ako presidente, how can we lower that? So we need to have supply. The only way you can bring down the price is to have enough supply higher than the demand. Ganon mo makukuha yung 20 pesos na bigas. So hindi yung bibili ka ng bigas from somewhere using the government's money, then turn it into a program, tapos sasabihin mo 20 pesos yan na bigas. That's different from the actual market price.
And it's not sustainable, Mayor.
I do not know. Hindi ko naman alam. Sobrang laki ng gobyerno natin. if you really just focus on that and spend all the money just to provide
20 pesos.
20 peso per kilo rice, I do not know kung sustainable ba siya. But for sure, resources and money is scarce. Hindi yan infinite resource. So, may masasakripisyo ka talaga dyan. You have to get a portion of the budget from somewhere else to, gagawin mo yung programa na yan. So, ano yan kailangan mong may masakripisyo ka talaga dyan ang department. Ito, walang budget mo na ngayon kasi ilalagay ko sa food terminal ba? Yung nila?
The kwento pala dito, Mayor, is si Food Terminal Inc., which is a GOCC, no? Sila ang nag-subsidize. Tag 29 pesos per kilo talaga yung bigas, but sinubsidize nila yung 9 para 20 na lang na ibenta nila. So, gumastos tayo. So, ayun nga, tama nga sabi mo, it's a subsidy.
Yeah. Nagbayad nun, tao pa rin.
Tao pa din, correct. Tax pa din yun.
Di ba yung kasi kung gusto mo talaga, sige, kung presidente ka, sabi mo, agriculture from the very start, sa'yo nag-upo na as
parang OIC. Acting.
OIC sa Department of Agriculture. Eh di sana, naglagay ka ng nagpagawa ka ng maraming palayan dyan, then you tell the farmers to magtanim ng so that may supply tayo. Pag marami tayong supply ng bigas, more than the demand, then bababa yung presyo ng bigas. Pero yan, it's subsidy ng government yan. Iba yun. That's a different thing. Sinabi niya lang yun para masabi niya, nagawa namin yung But, bakit? Kanina, kayo dyan, yung nangikinig ngayon, nung pumunta kayo ng palengke kanina or nung Sunday, bakit? 20 pesos ba yung bigas na nabili niyo per kilo? Diba?
Correct.
Optics lang yan. Lagi naman ganun. Sineset up ka talaga. Isi-set up ka talaga lagi nitong administrasyon na to.
Yet, the Philippines remains to be the world's largest importer of rice. May this year, there's an article, Mayor, last May, just this year, saying that the Philippines remains to be the world's largest rice importer.
Tingnan mo yung mga price sa picture.
57, 54, 56. Baka natabunan yung 20.
Di ba? Kasi yan naman lahat ng prices na yan. Pag i-subsidize ng gobyerno, pwede naman nila gawing 20 yan.
Right.
Di ba? So why don't you? Sige, I'll give you a suggestion. Kung gusto mo talaga mangyari yun ng mga tao, I'll help you this time. BBM. Subsidize mo lahat ng presyo ng bigas na maging 20 yan. Kahit kuhako ba yan? O ano ba yan? Then people will believe you. Pero gagawa ka lang ng programa for a short period of time.
One day.
Isang araw lang na binenta ka na 20 pesos per kilo na rice. Hindi yun yung... It's a program. It's a subsidy. Subsidized program yan siya na
Which at the end of the day is still paid by the people.
Taxes pa rin ng tao yung nagbayad niyan sa subsidy na yan. Kasi galing sa buwis yan. Inuulol mo yung mga tao Di naman nila inuulol. Kasi alam naman ng mga tao talaga na wala yan.
Inuulol nila sarili nila.
Tapos sinabi mo, kaya naman pala natin for one day. For one day, kaya nila. Sige.
Hindi niya kasi specify nung campaign
Fairness to the diba?
na saan, paano magiging 20 kilo, basta kay 20 per kilo.
Gusto ko lang sabihin talaga, iba yung programa, tapos iba yung mararamdaman talaga na tao na pagpasok mo sa palengke, any market na may clear na policy yung government that rice prices hanggang 20 pesos lang talaga yan. It should not go above 20 pesos. So that's the time na mararamdaman ng mga tao na naging 20 pesos talaga yung bigas per kilo. Eh, alam mo yun, nakita ko lang dyan na butthurt talaga sila sa 20 pesos na bigas. Akala niya kasi na parang sinisiraan siya dyan. Hindi naman talaga because you cannot really do it. So, it will take, I think, more than a 6-year term ng presidente because yun na nga, agricultural, dapat naman talaga supposedly tayo na country and why haven't you empowered the farmers dito sa sarili nating lupa, sa Pilipinas, enough na makapag-supply sila ng bigas? So, nandun yun dapat. Hindi yung gagawa ka ng programa just to say na nakapagbenta ka ng 20 pesos na bigas. Mahirap yun.
Right. Okay. Moving on to our next topic, Hannah, regarding the 2026 budget, may warning siya to the people listening to him that day.
Yes, Mayor. So regarding the 2026 national budget, sabi ni Marcos Jr., isasaulig niya ang any proposed general appropriations bill na hindi alinsunod sa National Expenditure Program, which should have been the opportunity sana para mabigyang linaw niya ang nangyari sa 2025 budget at kung ano ang ginawa niya tungkol dito. But he was not able to talk about the 2025 budget. Instead, he talked about the 2026.
May nakita akong comment, I cannot remember who said this, but pag binito niya yan, yung budget na yan, then they will reenact the 2025 budget na nung pagkapanalo ni Ping Lacson, sinabi niya yung 2025, tama ba ako?
Ping Lacson said it.
2025 budget is the most corrupt budget in Philippine history, something like that. Bagong Pilipinas to si Ping Lacson, di ba?
Yes, yun. Yun nga yun eh. He was already running for under the Bagong Pilipinas.
Siya na nagsabi most corrupt national budget. So pag na-veto ni 2025, ni Bongbong Marcos yung 2026 na proposed budget, babalik tayo sa 2025, the most corrupt national budget. So ang mangyayari niyan, standing ovation na naman yung mga congressman, di ba? Okay? Di ba nakita niyo how it is, di ba? So, ang optics niyan, he would appear to be a strong president kasi i-veto niya yung 2026 para bumalik doon sa 2025 na most corrupt national budget. Kaya magpapalakpakan talaga yung mga congressman na yan. Busog na naman. Basta,
So, tingnan natin kung talagang maghihitakbo ng budget deliberations. So, Hannah, one more point from the SONA highlights.
Yes, Marcos Jr. also mentioned, Mayor, about dumadami na daw ang mga tumataas ang timbang mula 20 years old pataas. Kaya kailangan daw ng active lifestyle. So para ma-achieve ito, kailangan palawakin ang mga paliga, zumba, fun run, fun walk. At tinahasan din niya ang mga LGU mayor na buksan at gawing maaliwalas ang mga parks at plaza park para makapag-ensayo ang mga Filipino. And he also mentioned, Mayor, na mapapatupad ng car-free Sundays. He also suggested that to the LGUs to enact car-free Sundays, which, by the way, we are also doing here in Davao City since last year. So what are your thoughts about his
hindi naman tayo una dyan. I think, Pasig yata ang una. Makati, Pasig, and some other LGUs do that already. So, okay naman. Tinakil niya yung health. Tama naman yung sinabi niya na to take care of your health. Kasi nga, yung pera ng PhilHealth, kinuha na nila. Diba? Diba? So, huwag kayong magkasakit kasi wala ng pera yung PhilHealth. So, yun. That's how I interpret it. Pero, alam mo yun, parang, di ba, nagagawa na ng mga LGU yun. Ginagawa ng Davao, hindi tayo yung first. Nakita natin sa ibang mga LGU, Makati, Pasig, ginawa natin because I think it's good. Tama naman yun. Pero, kaya nga, mag-ingat talaga yung mga Pilipino ngayon kasi walang budget ang PhilHealth. So, I don't know, maybe gusto niya lang gayahin yung mga sinasabi ko dito sa Davao.
Pero he said during his SONA, Mayor, na zero billing na lang ang mga ospital. I think he also highlighted that.
Parang 3-minute response lang yan ni Torre, promise. Zero billing. Di yan. Wala yan. Kung zero billing, then when? Kailan?
Pareha lang sa 20 pesos na bigas, Mayor, no? You have to question, the people actually feel that.
Well, if mangyari, well and good, no?
O, wala naman problema talaga yung mga sinasabi niya. Pero, alam nyo, since nung pagsimula talaga ng termino nito, wala naman talaga siyang natupad. Ano ba natupad niya? Sige nga, mag-isip tayong lahat. Tulungan niyo ako.
Natupad ang pangarap niya makabalik ng Amerika, Mayor.
Di ba, pangarap niya ba yun?
Kasi di ba, naban na sila at some point. Di na sila kalupad ng Amerika because of their cases.
But I think more than anything else, sa lahat ng statements na sinabi ni Marcos Jr. in his SONA, Mayor, Sir Harps, I think the one that I agree with the most talaga is yung guni-guni. That is the banner of his administration, I think. Madaming guni-guni.
Referring to projects?
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway.
Speechless si Mayor.
Alam mo yun, yung very, parang
Draining.
Draining masyado sa na tao. Draining ba? Yung makikinig ka, ano to? Bakit mo kami inuuto ng harap-harapan? Bakit mo kayang gawin yan? Alam mo yun? And we know you've never delivered anything. Tapos ngayon, gagawin mo. The next year, may SONA na naman siya. Isipin mo yun, tapos it will be the same thing again. Pero wala yan. Tingin ko si Marcos kasi, ang gusto niyan maging presidente lang to reclaim what they think is his birthright. Kasi diktador yung tatay niya. Then makaupo sila sa, sa the highest position in the country. Yan lang ang gusto niyan. Walang iba. But in terms of how he visualizes the country, wala siya dyan. Wala siyang mga forecast, wala siyang mga real objectives na gustong mangyari talaga. Yung sa kanya lang, nandyan, pag presidente na siya, bahala na kayo lahat. And he serves the oligarchs, the political dynasties. Yun naman talaga. Yun yung gusto niyang And ito naman, oligarchs and the political dynasties, ang gagawin talaga nan is to increase the wealth gap so that you can exploit people, the people below. So kaya masaya talaga yung mga oligarko at saka
They were all in attendance, complete attendance with very big smiles during the SONA.
Kaya nga, palakpak talaga yan kasi sarap
Finally! Finally! Our guy. Mama.
Ito yata yung pinakamagandang time maging congressman ngayon panahon na ito.
Mayor, I'll move to another topic after SONA. So that's the last discussion, Mayor, on the SONA topic. Right now, Mayor, daan na lang natin itong pagbubukas nga ng bagong Kongreso at bagong Senate, Mayor, for the part of the Senate. Si Senate President Chis Escudero retained his post, but nagkaroon ng, I think, some konting balasahan sa committee chairmanship. Ito yung mga pinag-usapan, Mayor, na movement sa Senate because during their first session, si Bam at si Kiko officially joined the majority, leaving Senator Hintivero sa minority. And also, pinag-usapan because Senator Rodante Marcoleta nakuha niya yung Blue Ribbon Committee ng a powerful committee dyan sa Senate, Mayor. So, what do you think will be, may nakikita ka bang projection, Mayor, sa magiging dynamics nitong bagong Senate? Plus, nandyan pa yung Duterte block na binubuo nila ngayon, Mayor?
Tingin ko, si Bam at saka si Kiko kasi, pwede sila maging running mates for the 2028 election kasi Aquino si Bam eh. Si Risa Ontiveros kasi nag-express kaagad siya na ready siya maging president. And pareha silang LP, di ba?
LP, yes.
Pareha silang LP. So nilalaglag nila si Risa Ontiveros. That's how I see it. Hindi ko alam kung ano talaga. Pero, syempre, Aquino is an Aquino. And historically, dito sa Pilipinas, pag may apelyido kang naging presidente before, like Marcos, who else? Macapagal Arroyo and Aquino. So they think Bam Aquino would be a better bid for the 2028 elections along with Kiko Pangilinan. So nilalaglag nila si Risa Ontiveros kasi ambisyosa din kasi ito. Kasi sinabi niya na nga, di ba? Na ready siya maging presidente. So may dynamics yan within the political party. Bakit ikaw? Di ba? Sino ka? Si Risa Ontiveros. Yun. Tingin ko, ganun yun. Nilalaglag nila. Tapos, pag, ano bang nangyari dun? After. Tapos lumabas yung, di ba? Yung may...
Yung video?
Yeah, yung whistleblower.
Yung whistleblower na...
ng KOJC. Tapos,
allegedly, binayaran lang daw siya.
na ini-implicate niya si Risa Ontiveros. So, I think infighting yan. Tingin ko infighting yan within the political party. Kasi nga medyo gusto talaga maging presidente si Risa Ontiveros. So ngayon, syempre, kung LP, Aquino talaga yan. So bakit lahat dyan ng mga nasa loob niyan, kung pipili, siguro mas pipiliin nila Aquino kaysa kay Risa Ontiveros. Kaya naiwan doon si
minority.
Oh.
That's a very good...
Tingin ko lang.
That's a refreshing point of view also, Mayor.
Tapos yung KOJC, tingin ko infighting yan. Tapos sinisisi, kami na naman. Di ba? Bakit? Tanungin mo yung mga kasama mo, baka sila lang gumawa niyan.
Sure, that's a very interesting setup there, Mayor. In fact, they got committee chairmanship. Nagkaroon na si Bam is now chair of the Committee on Education and then Kiko, Committee on Agriculture. So yun nga. Ito, Mayor, Senator Rodante Marcoleta, chair ng Blue Ribbon Committee. And this committee ay nag-handle ng mga investigations on public officials. Marami ang natuwa. At,
Pero, okay naman yun. Pero, we'll have to wait kung ano talaga yung movements na or actions talaga na, or direction talaga ni Senator Marcoleta. But of course, since isa na alay, masaya tayo dyan. And we congratulate him for that. So I hope na he will gagamitin niya yan to, just hindi naman kailangan talaga to na para diinan yung mga para patas lang. Para ma-handle lang ng maayos talaga yung committee. And si Marcoleta is a very straight person. I have seen him a couple of times, met him a couple of times, talked to him. Maayos naman siya sa mga interactions namin. So, hindi abusado na tao na
Actually, Mayor, ang pinag-usapan talaga ng mga netizens, Mayor, itong gulong ng palad ba, the cycle here, because when Congressman Marcoleta was still Congressman, di ba, Mayor, pinagtulungan siya doon sa Quadcom committee, and now, he became a senator and he chairs the Blue Ribbon. So, yung mga tao parang from pag-akyat ni Marcoleta, his journey to get that committee. And yeah, abangan natin, Mayor, how he will perform si Senator Marcoleta as chair of that Blue Ribbon Committee. Nasa ka, Marcoleta, ang huling halakak. Yan ang sinasabi nila.